about this um, no information or low information voters. In the media, there's a term that's coined called low information voters. People who vote for Trump, right, are low information voters, right? Well, if you see somebody like Joe Biden on C-SPAN, and the video doesn't lie, right? He's sniffing little girls' hair. He's grabbing them by the upper arm, which is known as a power grip, and touching their androgynous area, and like whispering and giving his phone number to little girls that have stuttering problems and like all this kind of shit, right? To some people, that's not evidence of creepiness, but that's, to me, more evident of a reason why not to vote for somebody or to vote against somebody than um, all of the opinion around whether or not collusion is against the law, because there's no law against colluding or working with somebody, right? Um, so when they call you low information, just remember video doesn't lie, and that's more conclusive information than there is about anything else, you know. Um, so if they're saying that you're a low information voter, then they would like to educate you, and if you are educated by video evidence as opposed to word of mouth, yappity yappity yappity, um, or bibble bibble, whatever, probably yiffy yiffy yiffy, um, what are they gonna do? Like, they pride themselves in all about educating people, and that's their whole mission in life, is to educate people and to be the ones that educate people. So what? Like, um, fucking educate the video evidence to make it say something else. It's like, I'm not doing anything, but I've seen a video and I'm educating people just because what I've seen, by telling them that I seen something that they could look and they'll see the same thing. That's an educator. That's what an educator does. They put a little too much on it, you know. Basically, education comes from educare, which means to draw out, which has its application in hygiene, as one of the final steps in the hygiene process of taking a bath. Basically, sweat house. You go to the sweat house. If you don't have a bath, you would go to the sweat house, and then you would use a spade to scrape the excess moisture off of your skin, or to draw out the excess moisture. That's called educare, and that's where you get education. It's also later on it was used to describe counsel. Education, educare, or counsel, used to describe counsel. But before that, it was probably your counsel, who was, if you didn't have time to occupy your mind with like hygiene things, and you're a sav like that, you would have your counsel would be scraping the excess moisture off of your skin while your mind is enthralled with some other things, I guess, I suppose. I don't know. It seems iffy, but I mean, that part is not iffy, but the second part about being like such a mental giant that you can't even occupy your time with hygiene things, because you're such a, too important, which, I mean, sometimes maybe that has its application, like in some instance or some age. Anyway, I'm rambling on anyways. Well, you already know. Punch them in the face, sock them in the eye if they act like you. I mean, if you can't refuse an education, then you're gonna have to sock them, because otherwise they're gonna they're gonna fuck you. So, and I'm expecting the same